fellow YouTubers, JJ the Trucker coming to you from beautiful Vermont in May. Weather's finally starting to warm up. It's about 68 degrees up here, and I'm up in northern Vermont. A little bouncy road, sorry for that. Man, it is just gorgeous out here. It's about 7 p.m. on a, what day is it? Thursday. Not sure what day I'm going to actually get this uploaded. But I'll try and get it uploaded at least by the morning for you guys. Depends on how my internet connection is. Oh, these roads are bumpy. Yeah, as you can see, I'm on a back road, and I'm so close to the Canadian border that in a few minutes I'll be able to look to my right and actually see the gate right there that leads into Canada. Yeah. So if you're with Prime, you probably know already where I just picked up from. I picked up from Ben & Jerry's. Always a favorite. They do give free pints as samples if you ask for them, so that's always pretty cool. Of course, being on my health kick, I declined this time around. Oh, that was the hardest thing I had to do because, man, JJ loves his Ben & Jerry's. Really loves Ben & Jerry's. Man, there's not too many flavors of Ben & Jerry's I do not thoroughly appreciate. But yeah, I turned it down this time. It's all health food right now for me. And I'm glad the weather's warming up because I tell you, since I left I was up in Boise. I think you guys know that. Surprised my mom for Mother's Day. And it was cold. And oh man, look at the windshield. Oh, that's a terrible windshield. Sorry. That's one other reason I haven't been doing a lot of these videos, by the way. Bug season. Oh, but look at this view. Look at this. Oh, look at that. Let me turn you away from the sun there. Look at that. Oh, and it's the same on the other side, too. Beautiful, man. But, yeah, ever since I left Boise up in the north, it's been cold the whole trip, all the way out here. I went from Boise all the way down to Pennsylvania, eastern Pennsylvania. And then from eastern Pennsylvania up to New Hampshire. Well, that was pretty cool. First delivery in New Hampshire. I crossed over into New Hampshire a couple times on my way to Ben & Jerry's, but never actually delivered to or picked up from New Hampshire. So I got that checked off my list. And then, of course, once you're up in that whole area, I think the only shipper out of this whole area is Ben & Jerry's up here in Vermont. But man, it's a pretty cool place. You're gonna spend some time there, no doubt about that. They're slow as molasses. They are, but they're nice. They're really nice people. They set good expectations for the most part, and you just kind of know, it's going to take a little bit, so be patient. I'll gesture back to the front here. Hey, Mr. Pumpkins. All right, so, but yeah, it's always pretty cool. Now, the typical route you're supposed to take takes you all through just all backwoods for hours and hours and hours of this type of a road without the water scenery. It's way too long for me. So I actually take the interstate further north, all the way up to near the Canadian border, cut across this little highway right here, which is back roads, and it's just a beautiful highway, other than it being real bumpy and wavy and stuff. And it connects with another interstate that takes me on down south, and that's it. So pretty much get to stick to the interstates. It adds an hour to the drive, so that's the downside. But you know what? Usually Ben & Jerry's loads are not tight loads, and this one's not. It's an all-day drop and hook delivery. hours coming back, and then the day after that I've got 11 hours 10 minutes coming back, and then the day after that I've got 10 hours coming back. So I'll have some good recaps after that, and I'll be good. Won't even need to do a 34-hour. The other option is I can bust my butt down there and use up all my hours and then take a 34-hour reset, but honestly, where I'm going to,
in 3/4 of a mile, turn right on US Route 2 South.
Thank you, Agatha. With where I am going to, there's nothing there. It's in the middle of Nowheresville. And I'll just say it's in the south. I can't say where it's going to yet because I'm on the load right now, and you already know I'm carrying Ben & Jerry's, which is, I think that should be a high val load right there. I mean, I don't know how it's not a high val load, to be honest. So, yeah, I don't want no trouble. I don't want nobody tracking me down, Gotta get that Ben & Jerry's. Stuff's like crack back there, I tell you.
Turn right at the stop sign.
Alright, so my previous video, you saw that I had Randy, in addition to Nagatha. Randy being the Randy McNally. It was the Overdrive Pro 8.2 or something or Overdrive 8 Pro 2, something like that. It was the latest and greatest. It was the biggest, the baddest, the bestest in the Rand McNally family. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It just didn't have as many features as the Garmin does. One second here.
Continue on US Route 2 South.
Tell by that acceleration, I am fully loaded right now. Loaded almost to the gills. I got an extra 1,500 pounds to spare. That's it. Yeah. Get you away from the sun again. So yeah, there are some features that I really enjoyed with the Garmin. The Rand McNally had some good features as well that the Garmin didn't have, but overall, I think the Garmin's features were better, especially for planning multi-leg trips like we do, and for being able to modify those multi-leg trips. For example, coming up from Pennsylvania up to New Hampshire, you got that dreaded George Washington Bridge, the GWB, going into New York, going into the Bronx, and that's like $50 to go over that thing. I didn't want to do that again. I've already got a video on that, talking all about that. Didn't want to do that. So with Nagatha, it was real easy for me to get an alternate route to go over the Tappan Zee, also known as the Mario Cuomo Bridge. But with the Rand McNally, it just wasn't. It wasn't something you could do on a multi-leg. You had to wait until you were on that leg of the trip to do it. It's just so trying to trip plan and account for your hours and what your stops are going to be. I didn't like it as much. So and a few other features. So I will need to watch it though with the Garmin. I don't really remember if I mentioned it on the last the last video, but something happened with the maps update where it's funky. It's really funky when it comes to some of the directions. Like if you're going down the interstate and you choose not a rest stop, but like a Pilot, Flying J, Loves, etc., to get off on, and it's on the opposite side of the interstate, sometimes the Garmin, the new maps, thinks that bridge or underpass is not fit or suitable for trucks. No matter what the weight is, I've changed the weight, I've changed the size. If it thinks it's a truck, it doesn't like that path. So it takes you down to the next exit or two as you go over that overpass or underpass, get back on the freeway coming the other way. And, and then the same thing leaving, it tells you to go the wrong way. So you just really have to keep an eye on it. It gets tiring to do that. I've called Garmin about it. They don't have any ideas swap out the hardware for you. Well, it's clearly not a hardware issue, you know. If I switch it over to saying I'm a car, then it has no problem going over that bridge. So it knows it exists. It just, for some reason, doesn't think that that trucks can go over it. And there are some areas where it says, you know, truck accessibility unknown, especially like in a truck stop or in a truck rest area. So, you know, it's just a little funky. And there's a couple of other things where it may not take the shortest route that's available. So you have to really check it out, pre-plan it, see what it's doing, double check it, which any good driver needs to do anyway. You always got to, you can't rely on the technology and stuff just for that. You really can't. That's just not good. You know, not acceptable. Oh, here we go. I'm almost to that. Oh no, I still have a little bit more for that Canadian turn here. So, anyways, I just have to put up with it for right now. Hopefully, they will fix the maps one of these days, and I'll be good. Other than that, Garmin's great. So, anyways, oh yeah, I was talking about it being cold and the exercise. Since it was so cold up north, you know, going through all those northern states, you know, even though it was May, it was still freaking cold. No exercising. I'm not gonna get out and exercise and ride my bike when it's 30 degrees out. No, just, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing that. I'm gonna wait. And 50 is okay. You know, 50 in the morning is fine. 30, 40, no, not happening. So yeah, now it's warming up. It wasn't too bad this morning. I did go for a walk, and then now that I'm heading back south, yeah, I'll definitely get the exercising back in, and I'm happy for that. So yeah, that's about it. Let's talk about fuel. Let's talk about fuel for a little bit here. Man, look at this, all this greenery. I know the sun is in your guys' eyes. I'm so sorry about that. Fuel. So you guys know about this pipeline shutdown. Massive pipeline shutdown due to hackers. Freaking hackers getting into our infrastructure. I don't like that. These hackers allegedly from Russia. Not state actors from what I understand, or from what I've been, you know, I've read. But still, Russian hackers putting ransomware on this pipeline. Basically telling them, pay up all this money, or that's it, you're done. We're not letting this go. Fortunately, there were ways around it. They didn't pay the ransom. They're bringing the pipeline back up right now. But man, I guess fuel shortages, higher fuel prices, and all that stuff, especially in the south, where I'm at. But the pipeline is back up. They're working on the supply lines and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of panic buying going on, which caused some shortages. It's like the toilet paper COVID all over again, man. But sometimes I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do. So by the time I get down there, it should be fine. Everything should be back to normal. But I'm not gonna really wait until I get down there to fuel up. I'm not gonna go down there, empty. That's for sure. I'll fuel up, way before I get down there. So I'll make sure to be going in with some fuel. Fuel prices are going to go up because of this, obviously. They already have, actually. And you know what? As a prime driver, that's okay. Prime drivers do not mind if the fuel goes up. Speaking of prime drivers, the reason I'm going so slow, by the way. See that up there? Yeah. Slow prime drivers, I tell you. I'm going this slow anyway, don't worry. Wonder where he's coming from. Could it be Ben and Jerry's? Oh, look at that. Man, that's just gorgeous. So yeah, we don't mind when fuel prices go up because of the fuel surcharge. Obviously, if you're a company driver, you could care less anyway. You're not paying for the fuel. But us owner ops, lease ops, we are paying for our own fuel. But between the fuel discounts that we get from Prime, being on the Prime network, and that is charged to the customer that we get, man, we are doing all right. And the way that works, I don't know the exact formula. I mean, you've got to be some kind of rocket scientist, genius, A+ to be able to figure out this math on this formula. But the bottom line is the way it works out is Prime wants you to basically pay $1 per gallon. Okay? $1 per gallon. That's it. Based on 7 miles per gallon. Now, if you're getting more than 7 miles per gallon, which pretty much the whole fleet is, then you're making money. Well, you're paying, I should say, you're paying less than $1
3/4 of a mile.
per gallon.
Turn left on Lake Street.
And here we come to the Canadian border is coming right up here. Slow down a bit. So yeah, we're already paying less than $1 per gallon between the discount and the fuel supplement. Now, the way the math works on this is it's based on the average price in the U.S. for fuel, for diesel. And the higher the price, the better the discount, and therefore the better the 7 mile per gallon thing comes into play, which means we pay even less. So the higher the fuel price, the less we pay. It's
Turn
amazing.
left at the stop
See
sign.
that right there? There we go. Look at that. Oh, too much. That's the Canadian border, folks. That's the checkpoint right there. Yep. That's Canada. So we've got to make sure not to turn right. Been there, done that once. Accidentally. Not by my accident. My trainer did it. My trainer went into Canada. I was in the sleeper berth. That was not fun. He did it by accident. That was over in Buffalo, New York. Yep, there's Canada right there. Staring right at it. Hey, Canadians! Love your syrup. Okay.
In 1 1/4 miles, turn right on Champlain Street.
As we go through this little town here, you'll actually see quite a few Canadian flags. It's a pretty integrated American-Canadian community right here. So anyways, yeah, so the fuel surcharge is helping us out. It doesn't help when fuel prices have gone up, but they only change the calculation weekly. So like right now, it's not helping, but you know, next week when they calculate the average fuel price and fuel prices start to go back down, it'll help tremendously. I've also been on a lot of lightweight loads and everything, so I was actually #1 in fuel costs for my fleet manager's fleet, even in a Peterbilt, thanks to the lightweight stuff, of course. And I had the wind in my back coming out here and everything. I got some great. I mean, my fuel mileage was in the 10s on some of those days in a Peterbilt. Yes. So it was all good. Things are going good. My paychecks are looking really good, man. Man, they're looking phenomenal. So I think that's pretty much it on the updates, everybody. I know I've been yapping now for quite a while. I apologize for that. Hopefully you enjoy it. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Man, I do love this trip. I really, not in the winter. I did this once in the winter. I hated every single minute of it. But if it's not winter, yeah. Look at that family walking their dog and walking their little sister. I don't know if you saw that. Big sister was carrying little sister. You know, little sister was a little too big to be carried, but okay. Anyway. All right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you for hanging in there, and thanks for all the well wishes to my grandmother and the family and everything. One more quick shout out.
In 1/4 mile, turn right on Champlain Street.
Today is my sister's birthday, my little sister. Happy birthday to you, Janelle. I love you very much. And tomorrow is her husband's birthday, Brody. Brody May. So happy
Turn
birthday
right
to the both
on
of you guys.
Champlain Street.
And good shout outs. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
Continue on Champlain.